Welcome back, everyone, to the Drunken Zombies podcast. We're your daily dose of blood, guts, and a few laughs along the way as we explore these uh, terrifying zombie tales.
That's right, and we've got a truly chilling story lined up for you today, one that'll really grab you and pull you in.
It's called Z-Files, The Beginning of the Nightmare.
Ooh, that title alone is already giving me chills.
Right. Now, before we completely lose ourselves in this suspenseful world, please do us a favor.
Yes! Hit that rate button and follow the Drunken Zombies podcast.
It really helps us out. And, it ensures you won't miss a single episode.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. This first part drops us right into the heart of Greenvale. It's one of those typical Midwestern towns.
Yeah.
Quiet, unassuming. And our main character, Dr. Elena Rodriguez, she's just finishing up a brutal ER shift.
Oh, I can only imagine. I bet she's seen it all.
Right. But even with all her medical experience, the story sets this tone, this electric unease in the air. Something feels off.
That's such a great way to describe it, that electric unease. Like the calm before a storm, where everything seems still, but you can just sense that something huge is about to break.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the writer wants us to feel that something is wrong, even before the characters fully realize it.
It really sets the stage for the horror that's about to unfold, and then bam, that first sign hits.
Elena gets a CDC alert on her phone.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. Unknown epidemic, central U.S. extreme caution advised. And here's the thing. This isn't the first one she's gotten that day, right?
Oh, really?
It's like a third one in 12 hours.
So they're coming in hot and heavy. That definitely ramps up the tension. You go from, oh, a little news blip to, uh-oh, something serious is brewing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I loved how they included that internal thought Elena has about WebMD diagnosing her with the zombie plague. It's kind of like a dark but very relatable moment, right? Because we've all been there.
Oh, totally. It's that initial disbelief, like, nah, it can't be what I think it is, can it?
Right. It's almost funny, but in this context, it's also kind of terrifying. So after that, Elena walks out into the hospital parking lot, which seemed totally deserted except for this one solitary figure just standing there.
Oh, creepy.
Right. At first, she's like, okay, probably just a smoker taking a break. But as she starts to get closer, things start to get weird. The way the figure's standing, so stiff, the head movements all jerky, and that skin, like this sickly, pale color.
So already setting up those classic zombie vibes.
And then she notices another detail that really struck me. The figure's scrubs. They're from a completely different hospital.
Interesting, like they've wandered in from somewhere else.
Yeah, it's like a little clue that things are much bigger than just one isolated incident. And this is where things get really interesting, because Elena's got all this medical training, but what she's seeing doesn't fit into any neat diagnostic box.
Right, that's going to be super unsettling, especially for someone like Elena who's probably used to having answers.
Exactly. Her professional knowledge is clashing with this gut feeling that something is very, very wrong.
It's like that moment where you realize you're in a horror movie and all the rules of the real world just went out the window.
Totally. And then it gets even worse. The CDC warnings, all vague and cryptic at first, they start to take on this terrifying new meaning. It's an inexplicable contagion, spreading fast, hitting people hard.
So the pieces are starting to fall into place, and they're not forming a pretty picture.
Not at all. But, Elena doesn't just stand there and freak out. She's got this stubborn streak, that med school mentality, where she just has to understand things, even if they're terrifying.
I respect that. Even in the face of the unknown, she's still trying to maintain some control.
Yeah, it's almost like a reflex. She slips on those latex gloves, takes a cautious step closer, like she's trying to gather more information, assess the situation.
It's that professional drive kicking in, that need to help, even when every instinct is screaming at her to run. And then that scream.
Oh, yeah. Out of nowhere, this piercing scream cuts through the silence.
Yeah.
And the figure in a parking lot, it suddenly twitches, and then it just lunges straight at Elena.
So that's the confirmation. No more doubt, no more questions. It's go time.
Absolutely. It's that moment in the story where any ambiguity just vanishes.
Yeah.
We know what's happening, and it's terrifying. The guttural snarl, the stench of, decaying flesh.
Oh, God, that's rough.
Right. It's like the author wants to make sure we feel the horror on a visceral level, using those really strong sensory details. Elena's frozen in place, completely paralyzed with fear, and this monster is just surging toward her.
Yeah, that's the stuff of nightmares, pure primal terror. So what happens next? Does she manage to get away?
Well, just when you think it's all over, out of nowhere, this blur of motion appears. It's like a whirlwind. And suddenly, Elena is being yanked back from those decaying hands. And there's another smell.
Another smell. What do you mean?
It's like sickly sweet mixed with something metallic. And then we meet our mysterious savior.
Okay, so who is this guy?
His name's Carter Bell. And let me tell you, he is not your average Good Samaritan. Faded black combat gear, gunmetal eyes that look right through you, and he's packing serious heat. I'm talking an oversized military-grade rifle.
Wow. Okay, so not someone to mess with.
Not at all. And his first words to Elena, not exactly what you'd expect. He's like, didn't peg you as a screamer.
Oh, that's cold. No time for pleasantries, I guess.
Right. And Elena's just gasping for air, trying to ask him, what is that thing? But Carter's just like, yeah, slower than the others, thank God.
So he knows what these things are. He's dealt with this before. That's unsettling.
Super unsettling. And then he just delivers this line. Funny how quickly survival beats out all that fancy civilization crap, huh?
Wow. That's dark.
It is, but it also kind of makes sense in this messed up situation. Everything's changed, and the old rules no longer apply.
And as all of this is happening, the town around them is falling apart, right?
Yeah, Greenvale is transforming into a nightmare. Mangled cars, trash cans overturned, fires burning in the distance, and small groups of those infected are starting to appear, moving erratically, just like the one in the parking lot. It's complete chaos.
They need to get out of there fast.
Exactly. Elaine is holding onto her car, just clinging to it, like it's some symbol of her old life. But Carter, he's not having any of it. He just yanks her away from the vehicle. All business, no time for sentimentality.
He sounds pretty intense. I bet Elena's not thrilled about that.
Oh, she's definitely not happy about it. There's a flash of anger there. But she's starting to realize, even though it's hard to accept, that Carter might be her only chance of survival.
Right, a classic clash of personalities emerging right in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. I love it.
They exchange names quickly. Elena Rodriguez and just Carter. No last name offered.
Okay, so the mystery man deepens.
Right. And then, as sirens start wailing in the distance, Carter's already pulling Elena through those abandoned cars. He's moving with this confidence that's almost, well, unnerving. He knows exactly what he's doing.
I bet Elena's struggling to keep up.
Oh, yeah. She's tripping, stumbling, trying to make sense of everything. But here's the thing. Elena's not a helpless damsel in distress. She's starting to shift from that initial shock into a kind of, like, chilling pragmatism.
I mean, she has to, right? Survival depends on adapting fast.
Right, exactly. So she finally asks the question that's on both of our minds. How did you know about these things? But Carter's response is super cryptic. He's just like, my paycheck didn't come from treating colds.
Ooh, that just makes me even more curious about his past.
Right. What kind of job involves dealing with something like this? Naturally, Elena presses a bit further. She asks about the military, black ops, anything that might explain his unusual preparedness.
So does he spill the beans?
Nope. Carter remains totally evasive, adding to that mysterious aura. It's clear he's not ready to reveal too much, not yet. But then a new sound cuts through the chaos. A ragged human scream, a desperate cry for help.
Oh, no.
And it gets worse. Elena recognizes the voice. It's Donna, one of the nurses from the ER.
Man, that's awful. Suddenly it becomes so much more personal.
Absolutely. It's not just some abstract threat anymore. It's people she knows, people she cares about. Elena instinctively takes a step forward, like she's going to run toward the voice.
I bet Carter stopped her.
Oh, yeah, instantly. He becomes super tense, alert. He knows how dangerous this situation is, how quickly things can go south.
Right. Any kind of hesitation, any moment of compassion in this new world, it could be fatal, but it must be such a tough choice for Elena.
It's heartbreaking. The scream is cut short, followed by these sickening sounds of tearing flesh. Elena's stomach just lurches, and Carter has to physically restrain her, his grip tight on her shoulder, preventing her from doing something incredibly reckless.
He's definitely saving her life right there.
And then he delivers this line that just chills you to the bone. They're gone, he says. Voice flat, no emotion. No point turning ourselves into bait.
God, that's so harsh, but so true in their situation.
It's a brutal reality check. The old rules of humanity, of helping those in need, they don't apply anymore.
It's a survival of the fittest world now, and they have to play by the new rules.
So they press on. This weird rhythm starts to develop between them. Carter, always scouting ahead, his senses on high alert. And Elena, her medical mind still trying to process what she's seeing. She's noticing things, details about the infected. They're impossibly fast, relentlessly aggressive, and their hunger, it's like nothing she's ever encountered before.
Yeah, even with all her medical knowledge, she's dealing with something that defies explanation.
Right, and that leads to the final thought in this part of the story. It's a chilling realization for Elena. She's like, this isn't a disease. It's just wrong.
It gets to the heart of what makes zombies so terrifying, doesn't it? They represent this fundamental break from everything we understand about life and death.
So there you have it, folks. Our first terrifying glimpse into Z-Files, the beginning of the nightmare. Julia, any final thoughts on this brutal introduction?
You know, it's really striking to see how Elena, who's so grounded in logic and science, is forced to confront something so utterly inexplicable. And then you have Carter, who's clearly been through some stuff and is almost too prepared for this nightmare. The contrast between them is just fascinating.
Absolutely. We've only just scratched the surface of this story, and there are so many questions left unanswered. Who is Carter, really? What's the origin of this outbreak? And how will Elena survive in this new, horrifying world? If you're brave enough to join us for more daily zombie mayhem, make sure to rate and follow the Drunken Zombies podcast.
Don't forget to tell your friends. Spread the zombie love.
Until next time, fellow zombie enthusiasts, stay vigilant and keep those brains safe.
Sweet dreams, if you can manage them.
See y'all tomorrow.